first.
Hi, I'm Kaylin Parker. I'm a junior at LSU.
I'm Madison and I'm a sophomore at LSU.
And I'm Valencia Richardson. I'm a senior at LSU, and we represent an organization on LSU's campus that registers voters. Our organization is named Go Vote LSU, and for the last 2 years, we've registered hundreds of voters on campus. And we see constantly when we're registering voters the lack of identification as a very common barrier, among other barriers, but identification is a primary one. So approximately 5,000 students live on LSU's main campus, and approximately 6,000 students do not purchase a parking pass. And those are there are thousands of other students who do not have a Louisiana ID or driver's license. And this poses a major impediment when we are registering voters or when students have the desire to register to vote. While other states have similar laws that we are proposing right now, including Georgia, Mississippi, and Tennessee, that allow student IDs to be used as voter identification, we would like to add Louisiana to the list.
Thank you.
We know that not every student has a driver's license. However, we also know that every registered student in the Louisiana public universities have a student ID. And so this is approximately 300,000 potential voters, and that's a significant amount who may not currently have the proper ID to vote.
Thank you.
We support House Bill 940 because we believe the students will have greater access to the polls with the added convenience of being able to use their student IDs as voter identification.
Yes, and we have with us a petition of hundreds of student supporters who express their desires to be able to use their student IDs as voter identification. And we've also done extensive research on this topic because we are working to increase voter accessibility on LSU's campus. And we students as well as us see adding the signature. For LSU in particular, the only thing missing on the ID is a signature that will allow students to use it to vote, and we see that lots of students see that as an opportunity to use something that they carry with them every day. That's the only thing that every student has on them every day is a student ID. But not everyone has a driver's license, not everyone has state identification right now.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for your civic involvement in this effort, and thank you for your testimony today.
Absolutely.
Well, Representative Bowie, did you have a question for them? Or for, okay.
Okay.
Secretary Shedler has to go in a minute, so if anybody has questions for him, now's our time. Did you want to say anything about the bill, Secretary Shedler?
First off, thank you, Madam Chairman, for pushing this bill up for me. Just real quickly, we are in support of this bill. I was very moved by the students that contacted me. It was something that we had been looking at long-term as one of our projects, and I think it's a natural progression. One of the lowest registering groups is that 18 to 24-year-old. You know, we have at 85% eligible voters registered in Louisiana, but when you look at that age group of demographics, it's some 60%. It's the least participatory. And I think this is one more tool to trying to get that younger group engaged in politics. I think we all have seen what is happening across the country with a downslide in participation, and anything to try to get people re-engaged in this, especially our youth, I think is a positive thing. I don't see any dangers with this, quite frankly. We allow other IDs, and the only thing that is missing with this is the signature, and that's what would have to be added across all the universities. LSU has taken a lead on this. I've talked to the president, the chancellor, King Alexander. He is supportive of it, and I think it's a great pilot to start. I think LSU is ahead of the curve, but we want to get all the universities involved with this. And as as Jacques mentioned to you, we are in that conversation at least with the presidents of all those student bodies at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Representative Amade, is your question for Secretary Shedler?
It is.
Okay.
Secretary Shedler,
Yes, ma'am.
according to the bill, it will be the ID cards that are issued by public post-secondary education. Are we prepared to handle the confusion that may come up when students come to vote and their ID card has been issued by a private college or university?
We are in contact with the private side of it also at this time. The problem is, I mean, my original concept, quite frankly, was something along the lines of a military ID. I use that as an example because military IDs, whether you're in the Coast Guard, Marines, Air Force, Marines, is all the same ID card. It shows the individual service and the color of that branch of service, but nonetheless, that was the concept originally. That would probably be much more costlier than the way we're embarking on it now, because it would have required all universities to come on board at great cost to use that service. So we want everybody. I don't want to get into an access argument that students at LSU or ULL or whatever it may be get to vote, but if you go to Xavier or whatever, that you can't use it. So we're working diligently on that. It's just at this particular time, although the bill addresses universally all public universities, LSU seems to be ahead of this as far as support from the administration. And quite frankly, it was brought to me by the student body itself with the leaders you saw here today.
Thank you, sir.
Representative Bowie for a question.
I don't really have a question, Madam Chair. I just wanted to commend the students for taking this initiative and everyone that's facilitating that, including Rep. Gaines with the bill, because at any time we can encourage participation in our fundamental principle of democracy regarding the vote. We should do so, and at the appropriate time, I'd like to move favorable.
All right, thank you. We have also here Dr. King Alexander, who just indicated that he would like to speak. We'll need you to fill out a white card when you finish, too, please.
Actually, with regard to Representative Almady's request, you could just require any institution in the state that gets TOPS to do it. And to getting public money, you could require them to have signatures so that those students can vote too. And we need our students to vote. And one thing we want to see is students, when they get a diploma, that they are voting citizens. And we've even put a passport operation in our student union, so our students walk off the stage with a passport. We want to know they're voting, and we want to know they have a diploma.
Thank you, Dr. Alexander. And if you could fill out a white card
I will.
on this one, thanks. Okay, thank you, Secretary Shedler.
Thank you
I
very
think
much,
The
Madam
board's
Chairman.
clear.
Thank you, Committee.
Also in support but not wishing to speak, Les Landon with the Louisiana Federation of Teachers, Jake Lansdale, Red River United, Michael Myers, Red River United, Ed Parker, AFSCME, Marcus Hunter, LFT, Deborah Moe, LAE, present and will provide information if requested is Joe Rollo with the Board of Regents. The board is clear, Representative. And then Paul Carlson with the Louisiana Community and Technical College System. I think his white card says House Bill 490, but we don't have a 490, so it's probably 940. Representative Gaines, to close on your bill.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I want to commend Secretary Shedler and President Alexander for taking time out of their schedule to come and support this great cause. And particularly, I want to commend the students, these bright stars, for their commitment, tenacity, and determination, and to advancing this great initiative. And it's just an indicator Louisiana has a very bright future. And I'd like to ask the committee to move the bill favorably.
Thank you. Representative Bowie has moved that we report House Bill 940 favorably. Is there any objection? Hearing none, House Bill 940 will be reported favorably. Thank you, Representative
Madam Chairman.
Gaines.
Thank you, committee.
Is Senator Appel still here? Oh, there you are. Senator Appel is here, and he has a committee to go to, so we're going to take up Senate Bill 174, which he's handling for Senator Donahue.
Thank you,
Senator
Madam
Appel.
I sure appreciate the opportunity. First of all, I'd just like to say I'm glad I'm term limited, because you guys that have to come back have to